Today's news.
I'm Wendy Gillette in New York. The January 6th House Select Committee held a fourth public hearing, this one focusing on the Trump administration's alleged effort to alter election results in battleground states. CBS News correspondent Steve Futterman reports.
The testimony focused on how former President Trump and his aides tried to pressure states to flip their electoral votes and how they refused.
The Constitution is divinely inspired.
Arizona Republican Speaker of the House Russ Bowers said he told Mr. Trump and others no.
You're asking me to do something against my oath, and I will not break my oath.
Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, also a Republican, recalled numerous threats.
I think sometimes moments require you to stand up and just take the shots.
But they did not buckle, insisting that the votes were counted properly and Joe Biden won. Steve Futterman, CBS News.
The top cop in Texas testified about the police response to the mass shooting in Uvalde. Correspondent Omar Villafranca has more.
There's compelling evidence that the law enforcement response to the attack at Robb Elementary was an abject failure.
Colonel Steve McCraw told state lawmakers that 3 minutes after the gunman entered Robb Elementary School, there were enough officers on the scene to neutralize the suspect. But instead, it took more than an hour to storm the classroom. He placed the blame squarely on decisions made by Uvalde School District Police Chief Pete Arredondo.
Senate lawmakers say they have secured a tentative bipartisan deal on gun violence legislation that would toughen federal gun laws and provide billions for school safety and mental health programs. A congressional vote could happen this week. The Supreme Court issued a ruling in favor of two Christian families who challenged a tuition aid program in Maine that excluded private religious schools. New York Law School's Rebecca Royfee.
It basically means that the states can no longer have programs that are neutral on their faith, but do not provide for religious schools. So they must, if they're providing tuition assistance for other schools, for private schools that are not religious, they must give those funds equally to religious schools, or they will be seen as violating the First Amendment.
Around 48 million Americans will travel at least 50 miles from home this 4th of July holiday, according to AAA. Spokesman Andrew Gross.
We're projecting out of the 48 million here are going to travel, 42 million are going to go by car on this July 4th holiday period. And that's despite these record high gasoline prices.
The Dow gained 641 points today. This is CBS News.
Well, that's today's news. Today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I want to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dash Cam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody.